What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to your daily dose of Broodwar. This time it's going to be Light down here in the bottom right versus Jaedong in the bottom left. Should be an epic little series here today. Gonna start out with a forward barracks, actually a 9 racks from Light. So these two hit each other on ladder. This is very recent, in June of 2023. Both players prepping for their next run in the ASL. Jaedong hasn't managed to get too deep since his return, but we always are holding out hope for a return to that former glory. There's always that possibility that Jaedong could surprise all of us and start to really take home some serious tournaments once again. Just needs to get on his grind, practice up, and this is going to be some great practice for him. Going up against Light here in this series. Oh, he lost the drone. That scouting drone got picked off. It got a couple of hits on this Marine, but losing the drone this early is pretty rough. Bunker here taking some damage. Only 4 drones have been pulled. A 5th now coming down and a 6th. You have to take this very seriously as Jaedong. You do not want to allow this bunker to go up. Looks like he may end up killing this SCV. Running around the top side here, keeping these drones safe for now. But now there's 3 Marines and 2 SCVs. That's a lot of DPS. Can gun down a drone very, very quickly. The 4 drones out here on the map are probably going to be able to shut down this Marine. Oh, no. I think a big mistake there. Jaedong should have been able to stop this Marine from getting into the bunker, but he allows that to slip by, and now this is getting really bad. A second bunker's on the way here. He's prepping to stop further Marines, but Light being really smart here, gonna pull these Marines together, pool them together, and make sure he's got at least 2 or 3 coming across the map when he does bring them up here. Looks like he's gonna go for the buzz, bringing all the SCV, or bringing all the drones. Not able to get the SCV on this bunker. Good blocking here, going after one of the drones with the SCV, trying to target them down. The Marines go down, but I think there's still 2 here in the bunker, and the repair is pretty good. He's gonna jump on this Marine here, but it's going to get in the bunker, and this one does as well. GG. Oh man. Jaedong losing to a bunker rush to start this series off. He's gonna be pretty frustrated about that one, I'm sure, here going into game number 2. How is he going to respond? We're about to find out. Okay, a quick 1-0 for Light here so far in this series. The second bunker was pretty clutch, I'll say. Popping those Marines out and managing to get them inside, making the hold impossible. Also, quite a few drones were lost there during that fighting, so Jaedong deciding to just tap out, go on to the next game here. I believe that these were played in rapid succession, so one after another, but you never know if you're going to get a rematch or not on ladder. Whether the player's going to queue up again, and whether BattleNet will give you that rematch. But luckily for us, these two did hit each other once again. And this is game number 2 here with the barracks inside the wall. It's not actually, or inside the main base. It's not actually in the wall in position. So it's not looking like, you know, a gas build or anything like that. Jaedong not changing anything here, just going for another 12 hatch. As the spawning pool here on the way. And Light, this is what we would expect from him. Going for the command center here. Just hoping to get himself in a good macroeconomic position. Not even building the Marine for quite a while. Really delaying that Marine by a lot here. Has the second supply depot on the way already. Is getting harassed a little bit here, but making the most out of this early game. Looks like he might lose this SCV though. 5 HP on that. Going to ring around the rosy here. Here's that Light a little bit too quick. He will be able to save this SCV. Jaedong gonna have to evacuate the base. So nice control there by our Terran player. And he's gotten away with this hyper economic build. It's not command center first, but it's the next best thing. Making a barracks and then the command center right after. And not building a marine until the last possible moment. Straight on into a barracks and a secondary barracks and the refinery here. We've got a academy coming up. So it will be that 2 racks push across the map with a couple of medics. About 8 marines or so. Putting on the pressure here in the early game. A 3rd hatch on the way for Jaedong. So actually, going back to his roots a little bit here. The 3 hatch play was very, very popular around the time when Jaedong was prevalent. When he was doing his thing in OSL and MSL. If I remember correctly, that was the main strategy. I don't have any lings on the way. We've only got 1 ling here. Okay, 3 lings are now out. So these marines thinking about putting on some pressure do end up heading back home though. Speed is on the way as well as the Spire. Comsat's coming up here. He's going to get a good idea of what Jaedong is going for. Reveal that 3rd hatchery most likely and also get a view on that Spire. But it won't really change too much from Light's perspective. He's got the engineering bay on the way here. Well-timed engineering bay. Should have his turrets up in time. Now this map, I'd like to mention, this is a very difficult area to defend against Muta. If you bring your Mutas to this side, it's very hard to get 3 turrets firing when you're picking at the SCVs here. It's also possible you just fly around here with the Mutas and then get back into this corner. This corner is a real pain in the butt to deal with, but we've got some action on the map here. Evolution chamber in the front. The second creep colony is not done yet. 5 Mutas are on the way, but it looks like Light wants to try and break this. Running forward, he's going to try and get through this sunken colony, picking off 1 marine. Can he get a second? No, looks like the medic on top of that gonna save this marine for now. Both the sunkens go down in rapid succession, and the drones have all been pulled, so no drones lost just yet. But this is gonna be a pain in the butt to try and hold off. He can target down these Mutas as they pop out as well. Muta number here is getting a little higher, but oh, actually, he's gonna save all his Mutas. I didn't see a single one of those go down. You can see these are very low HP. But he manages to keep all of them alive. 4 kill Mutalisk here, which is 14 HP, and gets back to mining. So actually not the worst here for Jaedong. He's gonna come across the map. He's in a bit of a rough spot, but it certainly could have been much, much worse. Looking for a position here. He's opened up this spot, so maybe he can fly through here and start to pick away at these SCVs here. Going after a medic there. Gonna get another SCV as well. Not willing to commit fully into the natural just yet. Or into the main base either. Light has additional turrets coming up here in the main. He's really turreting up now. Making sure that he has enough, and this is great from Jaedong, actually. Opening up this area here in the middle for harassment means it's going to be very hard for Light to stabilize, even though he's built a ton of turrets. He's got 2 turrets over here. He's got, what is this, 7 turrets? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turrets in the main base. Only 2 over in this location. This is a little bit dangerous now for Light. He doesn't have coverage over his barracks. You can start to hit these barracks and wait for Marines to pop out and just gun them down the moment that they pop. Looks like a couple more turrets coming up and a bunker as well. Light realizing that he is in a bit of a bad spot right now. with more mutas coming, with more lings coming, I think the bunker was a really good idea. Having that bunker makes this such a much more robust position. An SCV managing to get in here somehow. Spots out everything. Queen's Nest and Hydralisk Den are done. Lurkers on the way here. Muta number is not very high, so he hasn't been constantly producing those. Instead favoring getting out that earlier tech. We don't have an evolution chamber just yet, but a third base is on the way here. Diving into the main base, probably not going to be your best bet. There's way too many turrets over in this location. But he's going to stop the... oh, actually, I thought that was double starport, but this is just one starport and a barracks. Slows down the starport by a little bit. That's going to slow down the tech as well. Science facility will have to come up here shortly. There it is. So not going for a Valkyrie follow-up. I like this. Seeing that we've already got the Hydralisk Den done and the Queen's Nest is on the way, you do need to get into those vessels as soon as possible. Let me change the... oh, okay, it's brown and purple. I'll change the colors now because we don't want to have a plague on red Marines. It's pretty hard to tell what that is. Also, purple's a cool color. We'll stick with this for now. We've got the engineering bay here, but it's not actually working. We've got +1. +1 armor is on the way now for Jaedong. You really want to stay ahead of the Zerg player in terms of those upgrades. So getting this started as soon as possible. He actually starts armor, and I don't see a second eBay, so this actually might lead to Jaedong catching up in those upgrades. Well, lurkers here on the high ground. Oh, gonna get a bunch of kills there. I think that he was expecting the lurkers to be sitting back like this in a better defensive position, but bringing them up to the wall manages to get a bunch of kills. And now this Marine medic group is actually kind of reduced here. It's gonna be hard to keep this alive. He's gonna dive on top of this. The mutas and the lurkers running forward, actually gunning down the lurker there, making sure to target fire. Good job by Light, but everything gonna die except for one single medic. The reinforcements arrive to save her. Now going to back away. Tank push is coming up here for Light. Could be a well-timed tank push. However, we already have Consume on the way. Unless he can get over to the natural like right now, I think we're gonna have the Defilers up in time. Lurkers here on this false high ground getting picked off. Lings on the right-hand side. A little bit of miscontrol there from Jaedong. He's losing quite a few units kind of for free right now, but he's buying that time. Time is all he needs at this moment. Just a few sunken colonies going up. Emergency sunkens being thrown down here. We don't actually have any lurkers in this natural. He really needs to bring some of these lurkers back. There we go. Lurkers are going to burrow down now. And the Consume upgrade is so close to finishing. He really needs to get this going. Oh, God. There's one Irradiate. He's going to get rid of one of these Defilers here. Lurkers do burrow, and the Defiler drops his Dark Swarm as enough for one more. So gonna pull the trigger, running forward here, gonna try and get some damage, going after the Science Vessel. Oh, he needs to kill the Science Vessel. Oh, miscontrol with the Scourge there. Looks like he will not end up getting that. And a lot of the Marines went down, but he traded out pretty well for the Lurkers and Mutas. Pretty rough here for Jaedong. I really thought he should have been able to get that Science Vessel, but not controlling those Scourge at the most important moment there means that it does get away. Jaedong is heading out on the map here. It looks like a Hydralisk Defiler build is what's going to be necessary to fight with Light in this game. Running right up on top of these tanks. He's got a Dark Swarm here. The Scourge are coming forward for the kills on these Science Vessels, but Marines gun them down just in time. He's gonna get some more very valuable irradiates here on some of these important gas units. Sometimes it's more important just to keep the Scourge alive than to try and dive on the science vessels, because if your Scourge are sitting out here and your Defiler's back here, then the science vessels can't fly forward and just irradiate everything. Just a thought there. But sometimes it is kind of detrimental to try and dive forward with the Scourge. It's like more lurkers popping out here. Still having to rely on these lurkers in order to hold back the tank push. We'll be able to consume an Overlord and drop another Darkstorm here. But no Scourge once again, and the Irradiates are getting very, very valuable. He's only producing off of one. Okay, now he's producing off of 2 starports, so we're gonna see a halt in tank production. Switching into the next phase of the game for Light. Double science vessels coming out. It's gonna be full-on SK Terran style. Gonna hop through this Nidus here, but the Nidus is actually in range of this tank. That's not good. He's gonna end up losing this, I think. Can that hit? Okay, it actually can hit. That's a big deal. The fact that he can hit the oh, he actually can hit the Nidus as well. Oh god, that's not good. Another Nidus gonna come up here, radiating another Defiler though. Darkstorm's gonna come up. He needs to push away these science vessels. God, this is a great position here as well. It's like one lurker can actually hit this tank. But I think you can hit the gas if you go down here, right? If you put your tanks down in this bottom corner, I think you can hit that gas. Again, not able to connect with these science vessels. Scourge on science vessel has not been going the greatest for Jaedong throughout this game. He's gathered up a large army here at his natural, but he needs to bring it to bear against this. Oh, kills one of the tanks. This one only with 20 HP. Could end up getting picked off here shortly. Another couple of Radiates going down. Coming forward for the Plague. Gets a nice Plague there, but going in for the Eraser trick. Uh-oh. Jaedong gonna have to bail out of here. Pull all the drones. A lot of kills going down on these science vessels. 7 kills on that science vessel. A few more are gonna go down here on the gas geyser as well, but it appears like Jaedong is no longer interested in this defense here. He wants to go across the map and maybe shut down a base for Light. Light has this location up over here in the top. That's a lot of lings, a lot of Hydras and lurkers that are prepared now. Brings the drones back through. Needs to get gas mining going once again. Gonna lose one of these science vessels, it looks like. Science vessel goes down. This lurker will eventually be taken out. Okay, he does bring the army around the backside and will finally clean this up. That's a little bit too many lings, a little bit too many lurkers here, which will be wiping away this Marine medic tank force. That was a very annoying attack though. Did a lot of damage. It slowed down Jaedong by quite a bit. These science vessels still being frustrating here. Running through the middle. Oh, he could gun this down. Doesn't pay attention. That's unfortunate. A base down here in the bottom right. Little hatchery getting placed over here. He's gonna put down a Nidus. Yeah, and if he can get this Nidus to connect over here to the natural, he should be able to get this base up. That's a sneaky play. A lot of Zerg players started doing this recently, especially on maps like this, like Neo Sylphid. Can build a hatchery in a corner like this or down here and then put a Nidus. And once the Nidus is done, you can pop Defilers through with lurkers and just hold this position. Nidus is not finished yet though, and I think that Light is onto this. He's gonna come down here and possibly shut this down. A big army moving through the middle of the map may be able to distract. Yes, he will force the army of Light to move towards the middle. A big moment here for Jaedong. Coming through the middle here. He's gonna throw down a Darkstorm and a couple of Plagues. Oh, a couple of Science Vessels go down as well. That Nidus is about to connect, and there it is done. So he should be able to pop through lurkers and save this base. Though he hasn't seen the army coming down here yet, it'll be up to him to quickly throw through some lurkers. There we go. Siege up and save this location. The new gas geyser is done here. Over on the bottom right, more hydras popping up, but we don't have a defiler just yet. So it is a little bit dangerous right now. Hydras and defilers coming out of this location should be able to hit this base over here on the center right without really Light knowing where that's coming from. Another scan here at the bottom left. He's thinking maybe he can break through. We don't have a defiler here yet, and no lurkers on the high ground anymore. There we go. Bunch are gonna pop through this Nidus, and fighting up this high ground is not going to be worthwhile for Light, so he backs off. Bunch of lurkers gonna siege up here on this low ground. Another Dark Swarm could come down, and that should be a dead base here for Light. Gonna run up this area with lurkers. Oh man, all the lurkers are gonna get irradiated, all but one, unfortunately, for Jaedong. Probably be able to go up onto high ground with this last one, but I think that Light can actually save this base now. Oh man, this is becoming a serious problem. Science vessels here, stacked up. Lurker egg on the ramp. He's gonna kill as many SCVs as he can while Light tries to clear this. Lurker just barely making it time down here to the bottom right to defend this choke. I think that Light could spread and actually kill that Lurker, but no, another Lurker comes up here. Dark Swarm and Ling's gonna clear that away. We've got plenty of upgrades going here. Let's check. +2 armor is done. More tanks are coming out now. Now that we've got these extra gas bases, we can start to add on the extra tanks. A beautiful plague on a bunch of these tanks and vessels as well. A great position for that Dark Swarm as well. This Dark Swarm gonna do a ton of work here, but the fire bats and tanks pushing through. Everything being shoved back for Jaedong, at least for now. Light taking the space here on the center right. Gonna be mining happily here once again. But 4 base Zerg is not to be trifled with. You cannot underestimate the amount of gas units that can pop out here right now, and a big counterattack heading towards the natural. Oh, I think he's gonna be able to shut this down. Gets a nice irradiate here on this defiler and shuts down this attack. He's gonna throw down one single Dark Swarm. He was looking for a good plague there, but not able to find it. Good plague on these units here at the front. And another base going up for Jaedong. He could probably start taking multiple locations now. His economy is looking very, very good with 65 drones. He's going to be pumping out a serious amount of units. He's also getting up to that +3 carapace. Could transition to Ultra here, but I think the amount of tanks that are popping out from Light is going to be a little bit prohibitive. Probably don't want to go for Ultras in this situation. Nice job picking off one of these science vessels. Lowering the science vessel count is of the utmost importance right now. He really needs to start to gun some of these down. They are very low on that HP, so can be quickly dispatched if he gets some Hydras underneath them. But Light has gotten insane value out of those units so far. Done a very good job at keeping them alive and constantly irradiating throughout this game. Trying to run forward here. It's not going to work out for Jaedong, but he gets a great plague once again. He just really needs to convert on some of these plagues and actually gun down these science vessels. Small force heading over to the top left. Doesn't have any medics with it, but it may end up killing that. He really needs to send these Lings to save this base. It's unfortunate. Oh, Mutalisk with 5 kills. Finally able to convert on those earlier plagues. He gets the science vessels, reducing that count. I think he got 6 science vessels there, although I could be wrong. Coming up now with a bunch of cracklings. Looks like he can save this base at least. And the natural here coming up for Jaedong. This is a lot of plagued marines. They're going to go down so fast, these lurkers, but will they go down fast enough to save this base? It looks like he's just barely going to be able to save it, dropping down to just 380 HP, but he does manage to keep that alive. This base being mined here right in the face of Jaedong. Bit of a slap in the face here. The mine right outside my my new natural, buddy? I don't think so. Gonna come forward and drop a Dark Swarm. Shove this command center back. And he could get a big plague here. Nope, just a Dark Swarm coming down once again. Radiates come out, but at least he pushes this away for now. Slowing down that mining for... Oh, he almost connected on the command center there. That would have been bad. Looks like he's gonna get another couple of... Nope, just one science vessel there. Kills this gas geyser as well. Jaedong doing a great job of being everywhere at once, making sure he's got defenses at every location, continuously pumping out army as well. 67 workers now, almost 70. That's about the maximum amount of workers you would ever want or need in a game, especially in Zerg versus Terran. Looks like gonna be clearing out some of these tanks. Dark Swarm plus Lurker, as good as it ever was. Nice plague there as well, but doesn't get the majority of the Marines. Still, you can't fight this under Dark Swarm, so Light will have to back away. The tank count looking kind of high, but this is kind of a rough spot here for Light. He's got this base running. His main and natural are mined out though, and this one is getting low. He needs to secure this, or maybe secure the base up here instead. Might be a better option, but he really does want to push down into this location, not allow Jaedong to have that 6th gas, because he's on 5 gas right now, guys. 5 gas Jaedong. How do you fight against that? Another army moving through the top side here. May be able to get over into the natural and create a bit of a distraction for Light. Actually, it's falling back now. Gonna take a fight with these Marines. I think we've got 3-3 now. Yes, 3-3 is done. Oh, no damage actually on the melee. That's a little bit rough. You do want to get that upgrade with +3 armor on these infantry. Even with the crackling upgrade, they're not going to be doing a whole buttload of damage. You can see they're only going to do 2 damage per hit, which makes them pretty tanky against the Lings. Of course, the Lurkers are going to tear them apart, but managing to make a little breakthrough here. Light going to jump on top of this base. It was damaged earlier and takes it down, although he has kind of trapped his army here and should be surrounded and killed now. So gonna lose the entirety of that army. The real important story though is, can he defend these tanks? Another force of a Marine medic actually gonna head down through the middle of the map. These tanks need to be protected. Are we gonna have a breakthrough for Jaedong after cleaning up that army? He's coming up with some of these Lings. A Lurker tries to get in range and a Defiler not able to as well. So shut down there. These tanks able to hold on to this position, and the number continues to grow. Gonna try and push into the natural here now. Jaedong, who used a ton of his units to try and break through, probably regretting it at this moment, as his next base is actually going to fall. Oh man, a lot of tanks going down here on the left-hand side though, but the Hydra number is thinning out. He's making progress in both locations. Jaedong is starting to fall apart here. I think that maybe Light has done it. He's gonna go after this Nidus Canal. If he gets it, cuts off this base, and this base should be dead now. Man, that is rough. Jaedong taps out, and Light takes a victory once again. Smashing down Jaedong here. A very, very impressive long TVZ. That was some incredible play by him. The constant attacks over towards the top left, hitting this base here on that false high ground. I really like the attack over towards the bottom right as well, or that high ground base, where he was setting up tanks on the low ground and trying to push in there, killing off that Nidus. You really got to put a place that in a better position. That left-hand side is much, much safer. Jaedong, it looked like he had things under control with 6 gas, wasn't able to make the closer. And so Light goes up 2-0 in this series, going into game number 3. All right, game number 3 gonna be on Nemesis. Could be a fun match here. Excuse me. Still have a little tickle in my throat, but I'm just about there. Forward barracks once again from Mr. Mavrikow, aka Light. Gonna be going for that 9 racks and putting the pressure on here. I don't know how this one does on this map, but cross map is generally not the way you want the positioning to play out when you're going for this early racks. The distance is just a little bit farther. Gonna be harder to get that bunker down and reinforce those Marines. We got 2 SCVs heading out in opposite directions. They're gonna scout here last, of course. And so that bunker will come down a lot later than it did in that previous game, in that game number 1. We'll see if Jaedong takes this more seriously, if he really pulls off a lot of drones to try and fight this back. Light has identified the positioning here where Jaedong is on the map. The spawning pool is already halfway done though. And we're gonna have Lings in production very soon here. This has been spotted. He knows exactly what's coming. 3 drones being pulled so far. Pretty much the same as in the previous game. Being on top of this bunker right away forces the cancel. Very nicely done here. Jaedong with more drones coming out to play. And Ling's now in production. He's going to lose 1 drone. A little bit unfortunate there, but he's going to go for another kill on a Marine. He's trying to get this around here. 2 drones have gone down. A 3rd falls. A 4th falls. And this is already a success for Light. Even though he lost those 2 bunkers, 4 drones have been killed. And that is a ton of damage to this economy. Only 8 drones behind this. The wall in back at home will leave Light feeling completely safe. Looks like gonna hide hiding the 2 Marines here. This 1 Marine is gonna die, but 1 Marine gonna stay. Looks like he's gonna leave 2 Lings to protect that or defend that position. Actually, only 1 now. Just right-clicked on that Marine. Kind of hilarious to see this used. Going after the bunker here, pulling back the Lings just as the Marines do enough damage to pick it off. Trying to deal as much damage, force as much repair as possible. Loses those last 2 Lings. So a bit sloppy from Jaedong. He's going to send the remainder of his Lings back home and try to deal with this SCV, get rid of it, so that he doesn't automatically reveal the tech here. Drone count is going up, but overall, Light has found himself in a much better position. Gonna get to mining here in the natural now with quite a significant SCV lead. And where will Jaedong go from here? What is the plan? Spire on the way. Will he go for a base at one of these island locations? Or is he gonna try for a main base? It's kind of a strange map. Difficult to say where is the best location to take. Personally, I like to go for these side bases, just because you can kill these things off, these assimilators in the early game with your Lings, and make that into an island so that Mutas kind of reign supreme. That way you only need Sunkens here, and you just need air defenses. Make sure that there's no drop or anything that comes into this bases, and yeah, you only need 1 location defended by ground. So I feel like that's the most powerful way to go. But we'll see if Jaedong agrees. 2 overlords on the way as the spire is about to complete. We're going to have 6 mutas popping out here. He does take the 6 o'clock. So scan from light. He sees the natural. No sunkens here at the front. So he's going to start to come across the map now. Sunken's going to start to be thrown down, but he doesn't want to produce too many Sunkens right now. He's already been hurt in the early game. He wants to get his mutas out. His mutas are on the way. He's going to have just 1 Sunken here, 4 or 5 lings. And the mutas for that defense. And yeah, Light just going to head on back home. Feeling good that he forced Jaedong to produce a Sunken colony here on the defensive. That's going to slow down his muta production just a little bit, just a tad. And it should be easier to defend here. He's got lots of turrets coming up. 3 turrets here already in the natural. 1 at this little supply depot outpost. Gonna get some on top of the barracks as well, and 1 in the main. See where Jaedong goes with his mutas. Looks like he's actually heading up directly towards this main base area. But Light mirroring that pretty nicely. No damage so far on these mutas. Gonna rotate now over towards the natural. This is probably the most defended area, but it is a high ground here above, so you can juke in and get a couple of SCV kills, especially on these lower mineral patches right there. So Jaedong gonna come in and deal some damage. Behind this, transition is coming. Hydralis Den Queen's Nest is on the way. The scan comes through. I'm not sure where he was scanning there. But he is going to start to move forward just a little bit. Jaedong responding here. Killing off a few Marines. Getting to work on these assimilators. Very important that he picks these off. I'm always surprised when Zerg players don't pick these off, like, the first moment that they have lings on the field that aren't really doing anything. You might as well start killing these. Kill these 2. Start to kill the eggs. There's plenty of work to be done on the map for some idle lings. Needs to get to it. Starting to pick these off and making this into an island base. Marines trying to move out here, but Jaedong dogging them relentlessly right now. Still got a very healthy count of mutas. None of them have died so far. I was waiting for that +1. Once the +1 is done, these become far more powerful. So losing any mutas before that +1 is done is a bit of a pain. There's the first muta going down. He does need to slow this a little bit. He's got quite a few Sunkens on the way here at the natural. Lings have run up to the top right. Maybe looking for a counterattack option. Mutas don't really have to engage anymore. He can actually go across the map and maybe fight some SCVs, try to kill some SCVs over here. But he's still tracking these Marines right up into the natural. There's 4 Sunkens here. I don't think you can break as Light in this position, but you can't underestimate this man. He has some amazing Marine control and can seem to break through some areas that you really don't think of as breakable. Lurkers now on the way here. 2 lurkers with these 4 Sunkens makes it absolutely unbreakable. There's no way you're getting through here. And the mutas will now head across the map and start to deal some harassment. We'll see if Light tries to go through. I just don't see it happening. You cannot get through this. Some Scourge are prepped just in case there was a dropship. There is none. Mutas flocking around here looking for more damage. Maybe going for the main would be a better idea. There's definitely loose SCVs around here that could be picked off, and the supply depots that could be slowed. Defiler's Mound is done, and Consume Research is on the way. Maybe missing an opportunity here to get some damage done in the main base. Jaedong being pretty conservative with his Mutalists overall. Focused here instead of getting lots of kills on just keeping this group alive. and keeping tabs on where this Marine medic force is moving. Marine medic gonna start to break through these eggs here on the right-hand side, opening that up for future just in case this base gets taken. Dropship heading around the bottom side, but we've got plenty of Scourge here ready to intercept. Unfortunately, no Overlord over this base over here, so he doesn't see that dropship coming. We'll see if he reacts to it in time or if Light manages to get through this position. There's so many Scourge here ready to go. Looks like a scan goes down. He sees the Scourge. He knows that it's going to be difficult to land this, but maybe he can go around and come in on this side. That is a possibility. You can't see this, but he's going to go for it anyway. Give it a try. Oh, actually, maybe going for the main instead. He's going to land up here on the high ground. There's no vision here on the high ground for Jaedong, and this unload is going to be completed. His mutas are not far away, so maybe he can prevent this from doing too much damage, but he's going to run straight in here and start to gun down as many drones as possible. There's 3 right off the bat. He's going to go and right-click down, shift-click as many of these as he can. He's going to get about 4, 5, 6 maybe drones in this main base, dropping Jaedong down to 35. Meanwhile, going to kill off these 2 assimilators and prevent Jaedong a easy 4th base here in the center right. Shutting that down is a nice place. Trying to kill the assimilators here, but Jaedong prevents that. Maybe he can open up this position and try to get this base over here. That'll only open him up to another ground attack over in this location. So not too many locations by ground that Light can attack into and hope to be successful. Coming over here towards the natural now, going after some of these science vessels. He's looking for a defiler to irradiate, but only manages to get a lurker. Couple more irradiates go down on some of these lurkers. The defiler manages to stay alive though, and lurkers under Darkstorm are still going to be impenetrable at this point. Some Hydras coming up to the front here. Ling's got to be brought up as well. He's gonna go after this Nidus network. Nidus network could go down. Scourge are gonna go ahead and take out one of these science vessels. Nidus is getting very, very low. Plague goes down on these Marines. The Sunkens have actually been cucked here. They're not able to hit any of these Marines right now. The Marines the Sunkens just can't do anything against this because of the Dark Swarm. Ling's got to get up here. Finally, some Lings hatch out and get up on top of this army. Looks like unfortunately, right as the Lings arrive, the Dark Swarm runs out, and oh my goodness, he's just ripping this apart. Light utilizing the Dark Swarm here against the Zerg player. Some mutas are going to fly in, but they're not going to fare very well against this Marine force. There's more than enough medics for each Marine to have his own personal medic. And another force is making its way down here. So even though he cleans this up, this next force should be able to break through, I think. There's just far too many medics here, far too many Marines, and a few fire bats to supplement this attack. Firing right up here down the middle. He's going to be able to take out this Defiler Dark Swarm here on the Hydras, but not on the eggs. He really should have put this on the eggs, I feel, because as the eggs finish, the Defilers or the Lurkers want to burrow, but they aren't able to. GG. An impressive bust here from Light. Oh man, it was so close to a hold, and we could have had another epic game here, but throws down the Dark Swarm in the front, and Light uses it to break all 4 Sunkens without taking any losses. That is hilarious, actually. Sunken colonies cannot hit under Dark Swarm. They are ranged. So Marines using that for cover, breaking all that down. All the lurker, he wanted to use this for defending his lurkers, but since they were all irradiated, the Dark Swarm lasts longer than the irradiate takes to kill the lurkers. The lurkers die, the Marines run under, he breaks the natural, and Jaedong gets taken down 3-0. Is it a sign of what's to come here in the future for Jaedong? Will he be able to take down Light in the ASL remains to be seen, guys, but that is it for this series from the ladder, guys. Your daily dose of Brood War. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. We've been doing very well lately with the subscriber count, jumping up by about 50% in the last month and a half or so, getting about 1,000 subscribers. So very much appreciated, guys. I'm going to be continuing on here with the daily uploads because that seems to be the key, at least as long as I can keep it up. But your support is as ever appreciated, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.